Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video as well friends, we are going to follow the same discussion which we started in the last video. So in the last video where we had our discussion on that when it comes down to checking and judging the transit or any individual's dasha, which chart to give more emphasis, whether it's the ascendant chart or your moon chart or it's your sun chart. So we had our thorough discussion in the previous video, and afterwards a lot of you have been asking me this question, whether in the comment section or on the individual mails, that when it comes down to the second most important aspect of our life, everyone's life, which is about the career, so what kind of role these different charts can play over there. So that is something friends which we will try to understand in this video. So now friends, to begin with, the core principle is going to remain the same no matter which aspect of astrology you are going to pick. The core fundamental principle is going to remain the same, which is when we talk about the concerns of your profession, that all those answers we get from the 10th house, because 10th house tells about the kind of actions you will perform in this lifetime. Definitely if you will go further, so what kind of work you will do, with how much potential and dignity you will do, and what kind of recognition you are going to derive out of all the hard work done by you. And that's very simple. When we talk about the planetary presence in the 10th house, that is going to give us this idea that our nature of work, our line of work will involve the energies which resonate with the planet being present over there, and the direction of our line of work, like in which direction your profession, your actions is going to take you. For that you have to see the placement of the 10th house lord. That's very simple. 10th house lord being placed in the 10th house in itself is going to give us this idea that you might be your own boss, working for the government, top management position. 11th house, anything to do with large group organizations, multinational organizations. 12th house, prisons, hospitals, foreign lands, spirituality. First house being your own boss, becoming a politician, working for the government. Second house, finance. Third house, marketing, social media, digital media, content creation. Fourth house, agriculture, construction, real estate. Fifth house, dealing with children or creativity. Sixth house, service, fitness, medical industry. Seventh house, business partnership, specifically dealing with masses. Eighth house, insurance, revenue, exploration, research, occult sciences. Ninth house, working for the bank, for the judiciary, and anything to do with teaching, with theology. So now friends, that is going to give us this idea where your actions, your deeds, or your profession is going to take you in this lifetime. Now friends, when we talk about the role which these different charts can play over here, so before we will jump to that conclusion, there are other aspects as well which can fairly give you this idea while assessing someone's professional sphere. So the approach which I generally follow is that definitely once you get to know the planet which has a say in your profession, like the planet which is the ruler of your 10th house, you have to see its placement in the Navamsa chart as well, because not only it's going to tell you the dignity of that planet, but also it's going to tell you about what inspires you. Friends, try to understand this thing, that whenever we talk about the 9th house of our chart, 9th house has everything to do with the divinity, with higher principles, in a way what inspires us to be on the right path. So definitely D9 chart, which is the 9th division of your Rashi only. So the placement of your 10th house lord from the ascendant in the D9 chart is going to give you this idea that not only it's going to authenticate the true strength and dignity of the planet, but also what inspires you, and even the remedial aspect, remedies connected or pertaining to the house where 10th house lord is going to be placed in the D9 chart can be seen as a right way of getting the best result out of your planet, which has a important say in your professional undertakings. So that is one approach. The another approach friends which I follow is that your moon nakshatra is very important in our overall Hindu Vedic astrology. Trust me friends, whether you go to southern part, you go to northern part, you will definitely find lot many layers, lot many diversification, but the importance of your moon nakshatra always remains the same. So the nakshatra which is going to be the 10th from your moon nakshatra. So if for me my moon nakshatra is Satbhisha, so 10th from it is the Ardra nakshatra. So it means Ardra is my karma nakshatra. So my occupation, my livelihood, the way I approach my work, the style, the fashion with which I work will definitely have a air, will have a touch, will have a flavor of Ardra over here. That is one more thing which you have to research, you have to search while getting full idea of your profession. Now friends, one more thing which I want to say and add over here is that definitely your Dasamsa chart also plays a very important role, and I have explained that a lot many times, that the moment you are going to open your divisional chart, this D10 chart or the Dasamsa chart, friends, whatsoever you will accomplish, you will attain in your life, all of that will be answered only through your main Lagan chart. D10 chart just gives us the finer subtle details, what is happening behind the surface, behind the screen. So friends, the two most important entity in your D10 chart is going to be first the rising sign of your D10 chart. That is going to give you this idea about the theme regarding with which you will pursue your profession, your career, and your deeds will be in this lifetime. For me, my rising sign in the D10 chart is the Leo, and you know it has everything to do with art, with creativity, with devotion, with spirituality and entertainment, mass media, and creativity as well. So you have to see the sign rising on the D10 chart. Then you have to see individually the placement of your 10th house lord from the ascendant chart and its placement in the D10 chart. That is going to give you this idea that wheresoever you are working hard, your nature of deeds, the intensity of your deeds, how much high you can jump in this lifetime, its placement in that house is going to give you that precise idea. So definitely if your 10th house lord in the main ascendant chart, if it's going to be placed in houses like when we talk about visible houses like 7th house, 10th house, 11th house or 1st house, that is going to be a very good sign that yes, you have this potential and this capacity to rise and gain popularity out of your actions and deeds. And definitely if it's going to be placed in some sort of houses of finances, of income, so you might have lot many financial gains. If it's going to be placed in Dushtana Bhava, so your deeds, your actions might take you solving other people's problem, but it might also inspire and uplift people in the society. So there can be lot many connotation to it, friends. And lastly, friends, before we will jump to the topic in our mind, in our agenda, so one more thing is that you also have to give attention to your dasha as well. No matter how much talent you have, no matter how much good your intentions, your aspirations are, or even the surrounding factors are, but if your dasha is not promising that success, if your ongoing activated dasha is indicating a path, a time of struggle, you might have to go through difficulties. So all what you have to do is that you have to see your 10th house from your activated and ongoing dasha as well. So all what you have to do is that you have to make whichever planetary dasha or time period you are going currently, you have to just make that planet, the Mahadasha Lord planet, wheresoever it is placed in your chart, you have to make it as your ascendant, and from there you have to see the condition of the 10th house. That is going to give you this fair and clear idea, the kind of struggle, the kind of discipline, the kind of direction this ongoing activated dasha is going to open up for you. Whether you talk about opportunities, you talk about a smooth path, you talk about a path of difficulties, obstacles, support, or resistance, all of that you get to know just by making your Mahadasha Lord activated planet in the 1st house and then assessing that what is actually and exactly happening in the 10th house, what kind of support, what kind of resistance or obstacles are going to come my way in the time period of this planetary dasha. So that is something, friends, which I just wanted to give you a long supporting element before we will jump to our today's discussion now, which is going to be on making a fine distinction between your Lagan chart, your moon chart and the sun chart while assessing your profession. So friends, that's very simple. See, you have to understand this thing that definitely assessing your 10th house lord from the Lagan, from the ascendant, is going to give us this idea that what kind of nature or line of work you are going to perform. The second thing is that when we assess the same planetary placement from the moon sign, it becomes very important, friends, because now what is going to happen is that on emotional mental plane, or even from a karmic point of view, which all people and what all energies are going to come to your aid, to your support, to your rescue when you will be fulfilling your duties or responsibilities. I will explain that in a very simpler way. So for example, in my case, if I were to tell about my own chart, I am a Aries ascendant. My moon sign is Aquarius. So if I'm going to make Aquarius as, and if I'm going to assess my 10th house from my moon sign. So friends, after putting Aquarius on the first house, we are going to find the energies of the Scorpio in the 10th house. And with, in my chart, I have Mars and Saturn being placed over there. So that is definitely going to tell me about this thing, that definitely my on emotional mental plane, unless and until I'm not going to be very dedicated, very intensely devoted, and I have to be at times bit stubborn as well, that no matter how much obstacles or setbacks I'm facing, I have to keep pushing myself. This is what the energy of the Scorpio, and over and above Mars and the Saturn energy is going to give me this indication. Mars and Saturn combined effect in itself is a sign of being a driven person, no matter how much obstacle and setback you are facing. And definitely Scorpio energy in the 10th house from the moon sign is all about research, exploration and mystic sciences. So that is how, friends, you're going to make a idea, or you can summarize that assessing your 10th house from the moon sign is going to tell about your emotional mental approach towards your duties, towards your career, towards your profession. Now comes the question that when we talk about making a comparison between your ascendant chart or the moon chart or the sun chart, which chart to give more weightage. So friends, that's very simple. For that, what you have to do is that you have to see that in your chart, in your natal planetary placement, which entity is stronger. Is your ascendant strong? Is your moon sign strong, or is your sun sign strong? So that's very simple. If you will find that your ascendant is exalted, ascendant lord is placed in its own sign, it's a very good sign. Or if you're going to find that your moon sign, whichever sign it is, the lord of that sign is also conjunct with moon, that is also going to be a good sign. Sun is placed in its own sign or it's exalted, that can be seen as another good sign. And one approach, friends, which generally you have to follow is that you have to also give attention to the degrees as well. So now the concept which I explained couple of videos back, if you remember that, where I divided the zodiac sign in 5 zones, like on the basis of the life cycle, like 0 to 6 degree is going to be infancy, infant stage. From 6 to 12 is going to be very teenage years. From 12 to 18 is going to be adult. So the same pattern you have to follow, and you have to put that on the basis of the degrees of these 3 entities, degrees of the ascendant, of the moon, of the sun, and you have to come to this conclusion that which entity is more potent, is more strong. That's one thing. Second thing is that the general approach which you have to follow is that I do not want to complicate things or make it more difficult for you to calculate, but the right approach is that, friends, you have to also include on the basis of the zodiac sign as well. So the approach which is generally followed is that if you're going to have the assessment of whether ascendant or sun or moon, but if it is placed in a odd sign, so odd signs are Aries, Gemini, Leo, Libra, Sagittarius and Aquarius, and the even signs are Taurus, Cancer, Virgo, Scorpio, Capricorn and Pisces. So that's very simple, friends, this cycle which you are seeing in your screen, the picture. So all what you have to do is that for the odd signs you have to follow it in the straight line, but for the even signs you have to follow it in a reverse order. So listen to me very carefully. So for example, if your moon sign is of Aquarius, so that means your moon sign is Aquarius and it is odd sign, so it means we have to follow it in the same way, and the degree of your moon sign being Aquarius is 28 degrees. So then you can say that it's in a very old, it's in a very dead stage. But for example, if your sun sign is Taurus and your sun sign being Taurus it's even sign, and if it's 29 degrees, then because you have to follow the reverse order, so you can say that it is in a infancy stage. So that is, friends, one more approach of looking at your 10th house from your ascendant chart, from your moon chart, from your sun chart, and basis that which chart is gaining more strength, you have to see the dignity, the strength, the condition of the 10th house, the planet which is going to be present over there. But let's say, for example, in your whole calculation, you are going to come to this conclusion that my moon sign is more potent compared to my ascendant, and in the 10th house you're not going to find any planet over there. So now in that case, what you have to do is that 10th house lord, so for the Aquarius ascendant, for example, or let's take up the case of the Virgo people. So if you find out that out of all the calculations, your sun sign is more potent, is more strong, and your sun sign is Virgo, so definitely, friends, for the Virgo sun sign in the 10th house, you're going to find the sign of Gemini. But in the 10th house, Gemini is vacant, there is no planet being present over there. Then you have to see the lord of the Gemini, which is the planet Mercury, and you have to see its placement in the D9 chart or the Navamsa chart, wheresoever it is going to be placed in whichsoever sign or in whichsoever planetary influence is going to give you this idea that in your professional endeavors, the energy of this planet can come to your aid, or your professional undertakings might be flavored with the energy of this planet or this planetary overall influence. So friends, I guess we started on a good note. At the end, I just provided you lot many information. You might have got confused, so I will try that basis the participation, basis your understanding of this concept realistically, whether in your own chart, whether in the chart of your known people. So I will see that what more information I need to provide, or with any realistic case studies or examples, do I need to make another video on this concept or not. But at the end, friends, the takeaway of this video is that whenever we talk about anything to do with your professional undertakings, definitely it's the 10th house which plays a pivotal role. The planet which is going to be placed in the 10th house is definitely going to infuse its energy while you being performing your duties, or the energies of that planet being in the 10th house is definitely going to flavorize your professional undertakings. And when we check the same assessment and same calculation from the moon sign to the 10th house, that tells about the kind of emotional, mental or karmic support we are going to have in this lifetime. Because friends, when we talk about karmic, anything to do karmic, so definitely, friends, even Rahu and Ketu are the nodes of moon only. All the information from the past so many lifetimes have been stored in your manasa, in your moon only. So you might have sacrificed your life completely devoting to certain cause or certain people. So planet representing or embodying those qualities might be placed in the 10th house from your moon sign and might be helping you in this lifetime. So friends, for further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyavad.